Hi everybody, welcome on in. My name is allison8bit, and this is Voidwrought. This is a sweet, brand new Metroidvania. It came out in October of this past year. It's an absolute blast, and I highly recommend it casually, and as a speed game as well. And it's really cool. Metroidvanias have so many choices you can make in your run, and one of the big choices you can make with this run is if I'm going to get double jump or grapple. So we have a bid war going on for that that'll go to about halfway through the run. I will remind you at least once more throughout the run. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to start when I start a new file. And so we're going to start time in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, I'm going to skip this cutscene here. We have a little bit of yapping to do with some NPCs. Birch, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Professor Burtch. I am a recent convert to the Metroidvania girlies of the Fatales, as well as just an enjoyer of indie games that are starring little guys. And right here we have the Simulacrum, which is a little weird for a little guy, but a little guy nonetheless.
And yeah, so we just picked up a empty salt vessel, something like that. We're going to be using that as our healing items. And so they're going to be a few of them we got to grab. We're going to have one extra one to have extra heals. You could theoretically do the run with none. There's a little skip you can do here where you can actually skip all the talking, but you also lose your healing item, and that's not very marathon safe. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab the one here at the very start. It only saves like 10 seconds, and it's like a frame perfect trick. So we're probably not gonna be going for that kind of stuff too often here. But yeah, so we're exiting the shrine, and here's just like a lot of just basic information about the run. You'll see me doing lots of jumping, lots of pogoing. Pogoing is obviously an iconic usage of movement in Metroidvanias these days. And for me, I'm going to be jumping around the entire time because there's a slight drag when you walk on the ground. In the air, there's no drag. So we get those little uppies nonstop throughout the run. And here we're going to be picking up the first of our abilities. This one is just introducing us to the concept of how this all works. Any of these rooms like this will have a new ability for us. And this one's going to be Adaptation, I believe. And this is a slide ability. We get to go under walls. All these purple rooms are save points, which will heal us up and give us back all of our healing items. So we're just going to slide through here and just keep running around. One thing you're going to notice is outside of pogos, which is introduced here and in a few other places, there's also a couple different things in the top left of the screen. You see I have my health bar, some currencies, and our healing items. Additionally, there will also be some mana system that will be introduced once we get our first relic, which is going to be sort of like spells, where we get some of those pretty soon. But for now, we're just making our way down and checking out this area. This game has like fantastic art, tons of enemies, and it's just a great game. The devs are actually super supportive of the speedrun. They actually are running a speedrun competition right now too, which is super cool. And yeah, we have to grab over here. This will be the first of our relics, which we get to with a pogo. Not the intended way to get there, but it lets us get it before the first boss instead of after like we normally are supposed to. We have to destroy all 6 of these to open up a door. We just got one more to go. And yeah, I'm picking up some of these trace metals, which is another currency, which we'll be using about halfway through the run to get a strength upgrade kind of material. But yeah, this is all the very start. We're going to be making our way to the first boss in just a second. But first, we'll take a little safety save. Little ghosties. You'll see me doing a lot of movement to try to make sure I do not hardfall. I will hardfall on occasion. It's a little tricky to always avoid it, but it's quite good to not do that. And we're beating an ability that'll make it easier to do that in just a little bit. So here we are at the first boss. Birch, you can go ahead and take it away from here.
All right, here's our first boss, the Council. The Council is a 5-phase boss. As you'll see here, Allison is just gonna rinse and repeat with our classic or go to 1, 2, 3 hit combo, weaving in some of those talent attacks. That's our relic. And as it goes, Casually, this boss, I got hard stuck on it for a bit because we got introduced to pogos just before it, and I thought pogos were what it wanted me to do here, which was not the intended way. Alice is going to defeat the council much faster.
Yeah, additionally, if you play this on a more recent patch, it will actually be one less phase for the boss. This boss is, again, quite difficult. They actually nerfed it in one of the later patches. They did make every other boss more difficult to make up for the early bosses getting a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, they kind of made the difficulty curve of the game a little bit more standard, just to make it easier for a casual perspective, or more standard for a casual perspective, I'll say.
There we go.
And just like that, the council's done.
Yeah, first boss has been defeated. We're gonna pick up all these trace metals. We're gonna need a total of 150, and we are currently at 27, so we have to see how we get in the arena. If we get a really low amount, we'll have to actually intentionally die and refight the arena. Otherwise, we're just going to pick up a bonus one somewhere. But the goal is to get 100 before too long. So this is improved ligaments, which is a ledge grab ability, which is really cool. Like a lot of Metroidvanias just go straight to like a wall jump. Having like a middle ground ability like this is really nice. Like it lets them design the world around this as like a middle like stepping stone between a bigger like wall jump ability. And right there, we just summoned a couple of devotees. We need a total of 6 of them. So to finish this run, we need a handful of things. We need 6 devotees, which will be used to excavate out the final boss chamber. And we need 3 keys. The key of blood, flesh, and mind. And those will be used to unlock the final boss fight. And so that's pretty much all we're trying to do is just unlock all those things. We just need a handful of abilities to do that. And here I just picked up claws, and we're gonna just immediately quit out. We can do save and quits, which will put us either back at the last upgrade we got, or last ability we got, or the last save point we were at. So it's really nice and makes routing really interesting for a few different spots. And so for here, I'm gonna just go ahead and grab one void gate over here, which is gonna be a fast travel thing we're gonna use later. And we're just mostly gonna be just jumping back up to where we were at earlier. We have an arena and a few other things to talk about. But for now, Taz, I'll go ahead and take it away for some donations.
Oh, I've got to tell you, this Choose the Route incentive has taken off. Currently, Grapple is now in the lead with $335 to Double Jump's $105, which is incredible. Thanks to donations like this, $250 from Power Snake Koali. Best of luck on the run. So honored to have someone speedrun our game in such an important event. Thank you so much for that generous donation. We also have $25 from KDK1TT. Let's go, Allison. Thank you for that donation. A reminder, we do have that incentive to choose the route open. It's grapple versus double jump, and this affects the route and decision that our lovely runner here, Allie, is going to make shortly, actually. How much time do we have left on this? About 13 minutes-ish, I'll say?
Yeah,
About
that.
Yeah, so if you'd like to get your donations in, if you are interested in leg day, please put your donation towards that double jump bid war incentive for this run. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little safety save here. It's not super needed, but just have an extra heal in case we need it. We're gonna go up, and this is finally the arena, where we're gonna be trying to just... We're forced to do this arena, but it's good because some of these enemies will drop the trace metals we need. But it is random if they'll actually drop them or not. Which can be a bit rough when you kill a bunch of them and you don't get them. But it looks like we're gonna be fine. Alright. Just a few short from what we actually fully need. We could probably actually just risk it and find 2 elsewhere in the meantime. So I'll just hit up some spots and not even have to do the full detour that we would normally have to take, so that'll be good. Over here is going to be another assault receptacle. We're going to have a little bit more healing. And we're going to be making our way back up to the shrine. The shrine is that little center point we started at, where we spawned in, but also it's going to be a little bit of a hub for us. This is where the final boss chamber is going to be. We're going to go open up a void gate, which is our fast travel locations, and we're going to just be grabbing a handful of things along the way. Here is one of them. Divine Remnant, yeah. You need 2 of these, which we're going to be getting both of these in a very short period of time. There's something that the merchant is going to want in here to give us the ancient cipher that we need for our healing items. Every time we enter the shrine, it is nice. They'll give you back all your heals and fully heal you. And then this guy over here is going to want you to give him money so he can excavate things. So go ahead and open up this void gate real quick. And yeah, you'll see whenever I enter rooms for like a void gate or whatever, I'm going to walk in and then immediately like turn around jumping. It's just a faster animation for whatever reason. You just like spam jump and you just go through. But now we're making our way out of this area for the first time up to a fully unique biome. This is going to be the Old Waters. One cool thing about this run, specifically like all over the place, is that there is the grapple movement, not grapple, the ledge grab movement is really satisfying. It's got like just like a good curve off of it. And so we're going to be trying to maximize spaces where you don't have to jump back up. You could just try to do everything from one ledge, or you have to like jump up. It's got some really fun optimization with it.
Yeah, the number of options of like movement and powers and all such is like there's a high number that we're not even going to see most of them in the run.
Yeah, we do skip quite a bit in this any percent run. And we got that little Divine Remnant. And yeah, so now we're making our way up to the surface once we get through here. This is a very short area. We're just cutting through one time, and then we never see it again, unfortunately. That's a little creepy crawlies, though. Yeah, some of that ledge movement.
I have a very sweet donation here for you.
Uh-oh.
I have $25 from Natalie. Allie, my darling girlfriend, I am so proud of you and everything you've accomplished these past weeks, capping it off with this wonderful run for such a great cause. I know you've got this since you've been practicing and doing so well, but still, good luck, and I love you so, so, so much.
Thank you, Natalie. Love you too.
We've also just crested the 46,000 mark of money raised for the National Women's Law Center. So way to go, everyone. That's amazing. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, it's a great cause. Everyone should be donating towards it. What you may have just saw right there is that I actually could use my projectile attack right there to open up doors and occasionally like grab various other things. We're taking a little safety save there. We don't really need to, but we are doing a couple of damage tanks intentionally. So we're going to be taking 3, maybe 4 hits here, and we can heal if we need to, but if we don't take any bonus ones, we should be totally fine. Oh, that's a bonus hit. We're going to heal. Yeah, this area is a little hazardous, but this is also one of the weirdest parts in the game. It's an ancient expedition, which is just like, it's like modern-ish technology, and it's kind of just like, oh, this is set in the far future, not in like the distant past or something. And it just was like, just a really interesting part. But we're making our way right now over to the next boss fight. Let's go ahead and damage tank that. Don't need anything there. And this boss fight, again, one of the hard ones that has been nerfed.
Yeah, so this is the Eternal Engine, the second boss of our run. And we'll see in a second, Alice continues to do the same combo, but what Allison wants to do is trick the Eternal Engine into attacking the walls at the edge of the arena so that she can really get the sort of 3-hit combo just like that. Although not quite. And ever so often, when the engine goes down, you'll see panels in the background open up, and just like that, which are the actual fleshy meat of the internal engine that Allison needs to defeat.
Yeah, had a little.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that now that you've revealed both these bosses, there is and we had the dev donation earlier, there is a speedrunning contest currently going on and there's two categories of which. One that is just simply up through our first boss, the Council, and the second of which is a speedrun solely to the Eternal Engine. So if you are very interested in running this game whatsoever, now is a great time to do it, as that contest runs through the 18th.
Yeah, it's a fantastic one. It's definitely worth checking out if you have any interest in this game. But even if not, just casually, it's just a game I cannot recommend enough. It's been an absolute blast to play. Boss is defeated. We picked up a couple of those trace medals on the way, so we're fully good to get the upgrade material we're going to need. We picked up the ability Augmented Cortex. This is what we need to use a few things. But any of these technologies, which is some weird, like, flesh mixed with technology thing going on over there. Kind of weird, but that's fine.
It's weird eldritch biotech. It's fine.
It's awesome. I just love how metal it got. Like all of a sudden, like we're like, I feel like I should be headbanging or something when you're fighting that last boss.
For sure. Yeah, the game's soundtrack is just fantastic too. Picking one song for the social media for which one I liked the most, but we'll get to that boss in a little bit. It is quite fun though. But yeah, now we have this ability. We're actually going to open up this door here, and instead of just going straight to we're going to go grab. We have one of our devotees over here, and so we're just going to pick some up and then do a little save and quit to go back. And yeah, save and quits are going to be used all throughout the run, and they're just super useful. They give you a little bit of safety because you heal. You need to save time going back. Sometimes you'll save and quit to sometimes you'll save and quit back to a ability instead, because it also hard saves you there. But it just makes routing really interesting in my opinion. I think it's like a lot more fun than just like you're always forced to go to a certain spot, or some games even where they don't let you save and quit. You have to like only save at a save point, so it gives you that good mix. But yeah, right now we're just making our way through. Now's another great time for a few donations. Or any other words you got?
Absolutely. I also want to point everyone's attention to this awesome bonus challenge levels Crano Origins incentive. Chad is making a great job towards that incentive. We're sitting at $550 of the $1,000 met for that incentive. With donations like these, $50 from CC, chat, this skeleton has a pogo jump and a hat. We got to see the challenge levels. So that is referring to the character and Crano Origins. It is a skeleton with a hat and it pogos. Very cool. But to like hype up the bonus levels a little bit more, the enemies are placed just so that they knock you straight into instant death pits, which are also everywhere. So that is a very exciting one to look out for. So keep those donations coming for that. We also have a lovely donation for yourself, $10 from Mint Swirl. Hi, Allison. It was great meeting you at AGDQ. Best of luck with the run.
Thank you so much. Getting lost. But yeah, so now we're just making our way down here. There's a few things going on. We're just very carefully making our way through here. We have a little boss fight here, the mini boss. They're gonna give us the last of the like collectibles and givables that we're using. But this boss has a very simple pattern. They'll be exploding potions on the ground. Deal 2 damage instead of 1. And they don't always teleport when they seem like they would. So, enough RNG and variance, but still pretty predictable nonetheless. Let's do a little safety save. I'm gonna grab the soul here. That soul is gonna let us heal faster, which just means that throughout the run it'll be a little bit safer to do that, especially during boss fights. There's also these little urns of some sort that will give you heals throughout the run. We're gonna be using those whenever we need the health, and they're on the way. There's only a few of them, so won't come up often, but just a nice little quality of life thing for us. And so here we're actually going to get to a new ability, and it's going to be a really cool skip. So normally there's like this big like path above us. You need to hit like a lever, and if you hit that lever, it opens up a little like platform for you down there. But if you have just a perfect jump, it can't be. You can't help. It's very precise. Like you need to hold it for a tiny bit longer than like minimum, or else you're not getting enough distance. But anything more than that, you're gonna bonk. So it's just a very tight one. But that one's something that a lot of people even found in their casuals. So that's been patched out. But that's one reason we're on the older patch. But the devs have been great. So we also love the later patches. They've also added a bunch of cool stuff for the runs too. Yeah, the dash ability. Also, say hi to Plant Mommy.
Hi, Plant Mommy.
Hello.
Yeah, we're just gonna grab a little save here. She's gonna come up in a minute. But for now, we're gonna start getting our strength upgrades. We're gonna get the first one.
And we're approaching the end of this current bid war, correct? The Choose the Route, that's coming up soon?
Yeah, we probably got about 4, maybe 5 minutes left.
Okay, chat. So you've heard it from the runner themselves. We have the Choose the Route scented closing soon. That's the grapple arm day versus double jump leg day. Currently, grapple is in the lead with $335, and double jump is a hop, skip, and a jump behind with 105. But I always say this, chat, one donation can flip it. So if you're interested in seeing more movement through the later half of the run, you would want to go for grapple. And if you want to be a little bit more difficult, less safe, but faster, then you want to choose the double jump. Jeez, bid.
All right, so right here, we just use that ancient cipher. That gives us our first of our strength upgrades. We're getting 2 of them total, 1 before and 1 after this next boss fight. And this one is they're all like little puzzles. They're very simple puzzles, but just you have to work for it more than just picking up the thing and put it to the right spot. And so now we're gonna talk to Plant Mommy again. She's gonna ask us to like pick up some consumable item for her. We're gonna refuse, and since we don't listen to her, she's sending us to jail. As one does.
As one does.
And so we're gonna make our way down here, and we have a boss fight at the bottom of this section. Since we are not sure which one's gonna be, I'm gonna take this little safety save. You can die to this boss. It's not super common, but I mean, marathon safety over everything, right?
Always in my book, personally.
Better safe than sorry.
Especially when it takes, 3 seconds to do an extra save.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
So here we have the Myrmidon. Big shield, big bonks, and what we're going to want to do is that same 3-hit combo into the back of it as the shield blocks all damage. Allison's going to make quick work of this boss. Any second. Oof.
Being a jerk today.
And, oh, no, what's that? Now there's 2 of them.
Oh, no.
This is a 2-part boss fight where there's essentially 3 of the Myrmidons, all the same moveset and everything, but Allison, once again, made quick work of that despite taking a couple of hits. And we are on to one of our last power-ups before our little sort of MacGuffin boss rush towards the end here.
Yeah, so we got the Awakened Arm here, which is going to be used for charge attacks. This is required in just a couple spots, but any of these purple, like anything that glows purple, is going to be taking over. Or we need to like hit it with like the Awakened Arm. So we're going to go grab the last of the strength upgrades. We got a bunch of void gates that we have already unlocked, so we're going to be able to do a lot of fast traveling. But we are coming up soon on the end of the bid war. We probably got about a minute. So last chance. And we'll get those donations in now.
last chance to put the double jump in the lead. You've got the power, chat. I always like to say it, but it's so satisfying. The power is yours.
True.
Yeah, chat, are we skipping leg day or are we not?
All right, so we're going back to the first of the void gates that we started with. And ever since then, we've just been using this like a few different times. Here we're going to be making our way to go get the power up from it. And yeah, just having a little bit more strength will be super useful in quite a few spots. But they also changed up a couple things, like the route for any percent is surprisingly different. There's a few different ways to do it. The old route, which is the one that I'm running right now. Are we doing... if we can go ahead and close that now.
Okay, you ready for the decision?
Yep.
We are skipping leg day. We have chosen grapple. Grappling it up. Thank you all for raising more than $400 for the National Women's Law Center. You're all awesome.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you everyone who donated towards this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool to have like the choice go to anyone but me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and save and quit out of here, and we're able to use this to go back to where we just picked up the awakened arm. And from here, we're going to go to get the grapple ability. So the big change is when you do the two different routes. If you go and get grapple first, you do a different sequence for the bosses just because one of the abilities you don't need to get as early. But the thing is, awakened arm is the cutoff point where you need it for either of the next things you're doing. So here we're going to go back to the Central Gardens. Now that we have the awakened arm, we can open up a different pathway. And this new pathway is going to give us access to grapple, which I personally prefer grapple movement. There is a really cool skip at the end for double jump where you have to... It's very precise and it's very scary, but it's also like, it's not too bad. Did a lot of practice of it because that was the hardest part of the run.
Yeah, we're talking like by pixels, not exactly pixel perfect, but like a very narrow trick in that regard. But yeah, just one thing I wanted to say is like it is very cool from not only just a casual perspective, but a speedrunning perspective, that there are so many options for this game, route-wise, and there's even more powers than what we're showing off. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of depth to this game that you may not necessarily see at the surface, and it's really cool that we get to show off that depth.
Speaking of showing off, we're going to show off how to pogo.
Yeah.
Pogo hype!
So this is the Hive. This is effectively a DPS check for how quickly we can defeat it. But with those strength upgrades and the power of pogoing, another boss just down very quickly.
Yep, and so down here is the our grapple ability. As you can see all these different rings. Those rings are going to be what we can grapple to. I think it adds a lot more interesting movement to the run compared to I don't know, it's just really fun, and you can do some zoomies with it, so always a good time.
The animation on the grapple is also just so satisfying with the way it just kind of like, you turn to ooze, you turn to the sack and just kind of like lurch upwards, or lurch towards the hook.
Yeah, it's very fluid. And so now we're going to make our way back over to the court, the place that we were just at, where we fought the Myrmidons. And we're going to go fight the first of the 3 major key-holding bosses. This area is so much easier when you have grapple. Before, you can go through it without grapple with a different ability we'll be getting later. But they're the ones that guard double jump, which is why we need to go fight them at some point in the other route. But that's in an arena after the boss fight, so we can kind of just skip it. No real need to have both of them. Yeah, and one other cool thing about this run is that our current run is like pretty much glitchless. I don't think there's anything would even qualify as a glitch, but yeah, that
as
would
far as
be,
I understand it, there's no glitches.
Yeah. There is a glitch that people have discovered where you can like kind of like do zips. And that is pretty great. Let's grab a little safety save here and despawn that enemy above us. This is also the only, I think, only required use of this ability. There is like a minimum things that you can do, but this one is actually one of the few items that you will need to actually have. But yeah, so we're gonna go fight this boss now. It's quite a fun one. And this is my favorite song of the whole OST. We'll play for a second here, and then Burtch is gonna take it away.
I will say, for our first 2 bosses that we're going to see out of our 3 what we deem key holders, I'm going to give a quick emetophobia warning. If you are sensitive to vomiting or anything of the like, feel free to look away, because first we have the Postulant Prince, and you're going to learn very quickly why he has that name. As we see, there's nothing too much different outside of the 3-hit combos. Now, strength upgrade and everything. ProfessorBurtch is going to wall ride a little bit, throw some rocks at us. And then we're gonna see, and there it is. Yeah, there are 2 of our 3 key holders are what I like to call our gross bosses, in that they are very, there's a very liberal use of these sort of organs or more disgusting, let's say, sides of Eldritch Horror.
True. And yeah, that was the key of flash that we got there. Yeah. So here, there is an arena below where we can get our double jump. Since we're skipping that today, we're just gonna make our way down here. You don't actually need that. We actually don't need to be hitting any of these, but it does help just a little bit just to make sure we're jumping in the right spots.
Is it okay if I pogo in for some additional announcements?
You sure can.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have some lovely donations. Again, support of you and this run. We have $5 from Black Heart Wings. Every time I see Allison8bit on a schedule, I know it's going to be a great run. And today is no different. You're absolutely crushing it, Allison. Also, hi, Tozzle. Hi, Burtch. Hi, Black Heart Wings. Thank you for that donation. We also have $10 from 3Pup. Hi, Allie. So happy to see you back on the Fatales stage again. Thank you for being such a good friend. See you soon, less than 3. I also want to point everyone's attention to the new incentive that just opened up for our Amnesia Bunker run, which is 2 runs from now. This is a bid war between Save the Prisoner and Save the Frames. So for the Amnesia Bunker run, we have 4 runs back to back because it's the every percent run. So there are 4 categories for this one, but for any percent no major glitches and any percent glitchless category, there is a prisoner who is screaming mercilessly for us to save them. So if you would like to save them but lose the time, put your donations towards that incentive. Otherwise, save the frames and say farewell to the prisoner. You can put it towards the alternative. We won't say what happens to the prisoner, but you get the idea.
All right, so now we're doing a bit of an arena. We just made it to the Bazaar, which is just a little cut through to get it to the next key holding boss. All right, a nice little arena. It is a little on the dangerous side. We came in with like not max health either, but we have a nice little safe point here before we continue on. Yeah, at this point we're just in a like pretty chill spot with the run. We only have 2 bosses left, 2 major bosses before the final boss, and so now it's just all about just like trying to maximize our movement, go pretty fast. One cool thing is there is some damage tanks we'll be doing. It's always nice to have that as a in a speedrun. It adds like a little bit of danger.
Ooh, I like danger.
Exactly. You can kind of poke over that, but damage tanking is so much easier. There is also a free point to save because there's some cycles that we cannot beat. The alchemist always jumps away. For this one, we can go through here. And then down here. This is where we'll get that free little save. But yeah, so one cool thing about this run, there are some skips that the devs probably very much intended. There's going to be another one of those black wasps, like we pogoed earlier when we got an ancient cipher. This one is going to be this one right here is going to help us get up to this next boss fight. So we're going to go ahead and save this progress. Lure them over here, and then take a hit. Oops. Reset that.
There we go.
Yeah, second try. Easy. And so this is definitely the most tedious boss. They're just a tricky boss that's partially DPS check. One cool thing about this one is that you just spike these blocks down at them. Each of these blocks, by spiking them, will deal 30% of their max health. So it takes out a good chunk of the health before the boss fight even starts. We were asking when at one point, like, oh, is there any reason to actually hit that, or should we just be like not wasting time? And then the devs are even like, hey, yeah, it hurts them. I'm like, oh.
Anyway, here's the Fermented, our second of our key hurdle bosses. The Fermented has 3 attacks, one of which you'll see right there. It is projectile vomiting, but then it has its smash, and then those little red orbs as it's flying off. But for the most part, if we just chain pogo it, it is once again another boss that just kind of is trivialized, both between our strength upgrades and being in the right spot to avoid most of the attacks.
Yeah, only a few hits left here. There we go.
And that is another Herald Vanquished.
Very nice.
As the Key of Blood. So we're gonna get our last of the major abilities. This one is a very, very powerful one. This lets us crawl on the walls and kind of replaces the wall jump that we are skipping. This is the unstable nuclei. So we get to go into a certain mode. This is the one that we would switch our boss order right here. These 2 bosses would be switched because you can use the nuclei to get up to the prince. So that's how you would do the double jump route. And then at the end, there is a grapple point when you get to skip by having exactly double jump. It's a very cool and interesting. Maybe that's the one I'll submit to. That's GDQ, so we can get both of them shown. Different routes, really cool. But yeah, we're just making our way back here. We gotta go back and get one more key holding boss. And so that's gonna be all the way up the top of the map at the Obsidian Observatory. And so we have probably a few minutes of just movement right now. So Tazzle, back to you for a bit.
Amazing. We have $25 from Sciamphibian. I have to donate for my AGDQ roomie. Allison, you're such a great person and friend and a heckin' gamer. Excited to see you showcase your casual expertise of yet another super cool indie title. You're rocking it. Less than 3. We also have $25 from Cabbage. Allie, I don't understand how you are so good at so many video games, but I'm constantly impressed by you. Good luck and trans rights. Less than 3.
Thank you.
I also want to point out again to the viewers out there that bonus challenge levels incentive for our next run, Crano Origins. This is for 3PUP to play through an additional 6 incredibly difficult challenge levels after the final boss. We're talking no saves. We're talking no health refills. We're talking chaos, chat. So if you would like to see those bonus challenge levels, get your donations in for that incentive. We are currently sitting at $625 of the $1,000 needed. Less than 400 away, chat. I know you can do it.
Definitely, we can make it there. So this right here is probably my favorite little skip, where you just get to just use some momentum and your nuclei gets to go just float a bit until it finds a new home. That's useful a lot more in the other route where you have double jump, because you can't grapple, so you need to use that to get around the Obsidian Observatory, which is a grapple heavy area. We're just gonna squeeze on through here. We do want to make sure we are minimizing our time actually in this nuclei phase, because it is very slow. You are slithering, you're crawling. It's the opposite of a speed run. It's a speed crawl. So we're just gonna make our way through, and we're gonna be dropping whenever we can, because doing all of our other movement is just substantially faster. The exception is when you need to exit and re-enter pretty quickly, like right here. We wouldn't do it, but here. We're gonna do a little damage tank here, maybe? Yeah. But unfortunately, we have to go back up. And yeah, so we're gonna take a little save once we get inside the Obsidian Observatory, which we just need to unlock using these. But yeah, this game, we've got, what, 2 bosses left? I still want to just mention, it's just a fantastic game. Everyone should be checking it out. It's just such a good time. If you like Metroidvanias, this is a good one. It definitely has a good difficulty curve, especially at this point, where it was hard at first, but then it got easier later. Now it's like pretty well balanced throughout the whole run. If you like to speedrun it, the devs are super supportive of the speedrun community. They're hosting their speedrun challenge. And so, I don't know, just can't say enough good things about the team behind this game and the game itself.
Yeah, it's a neat little indie Metroidvania. If you're a lover of the genre in general, it wears enough inspirations from all of your favorites in a especially post Hollow Knight, that if you enjoy the genre, you'll find something in it that like you'll love.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so we're just gonna do a little bit more climbing. This is another good spot for like maybe 2 more donations.
You got it. Honestly, so much support here. We have $20 from Quacksilver, which says, Alley Birch, Metroidvanias. I could go on. Allie, you're one of my favorite gamers to ever do it. Hey, chat, trans right. Less than 3.
Trans, right?
Thanks, Quack.
We also have $20 from Piquant Growl. Good luck on the run, Allison. You're absolutely killing it so far.
Thank you. All right, so we had a little puzzle there. It wasn't a very difficult puzzle, but it was still a puzzle nonetheless.
Yeah, just using the Great Slash to knock a couple boxes into its right place to open the door. And as you can see, now we're back in the nuclei. And this is kind of where the nuclei movement comes in that those tendrils you see are very liberal in how they sort of reach out and find a new surface. So that's where a lot of this movement, a lot of the skips with nuclei can come into play. And Allison is just making it look flawless, honestly.
Yeah, there's a handful of tricky jumps, but it's really not too bad at this point. And yeah, you can get through a lot of this area with just the nuclei, which is how the double jump does it. But I don't know, it's just a lot more fun to just be able to grapple around. And so this is the final save. We're gonna go fight one more boss before we get to the final boss. This is the Astronomer.
Yeah, so this is the Astronomer, the holder of the Key of the Mind. So this is going to be our only non-discussing one, as the Astronomer uses more. So a lot of the lore behind the game is that the surface of the world that we are currently on has been scorched by the stars, and all sort of life is underground, which is why I think we have a lot of insect and it's why we're sort of navigating through the area we are. So this is the Astronomer, and a lot of their projectiles are going to be star-based.
Folks, we are going to get you back to the end of the amazing Voidwrought here shortly. For right now, you get to listen to the sound of my voice. We are currently working on a whole bunch of fun incentives and bid wars that will be coming up shortly. For example, for our next run, that is the Crano Origins bonus challenge levels incentive. We have the possibility of adding 6 additional incredibly difficult challenge levels after the final boss, which I would just love to see. I spoke to 3Pup before the run earlier today, and they were telling me that these extra levels are incredible because, as I've said before, there are no checkpoints. You cannot save. The levels have no healing items. You cannot heal. And there are death pits all over the place with enemies ready to send you straight into them. And we are currently sitting at $675 of the $1,000 met. So you are making great headway with that, chat. I would love to see that made by the start of that run. I know there's not a whole lot of time before we get to that run, but I believe in you, chat. I know that you can do it. It is going to be great. There's also more pogoing. And the main character of that game is a skeleton with a little hat on and a very cool Grim Reaper scythe. I was like, I'm sold. I'm ready to buy it. Looks like so much fun. We also have that great bid war incentive open coming up for the run after and the start of the horror block. So that is the Save the Prisoner or Save the Frames incentive. Astrid, the horror girl, who will be the runner for Amnesia Bunker, has already chimed in with a $10 donation, which reads, I sure do love Horror Tuesday, and I love watching Allison8bit go fast. This dono goes to saving the prisoner because I have a big heart, much like the folks at the National Women's Law Center. Thank you so much for that donation, Astrid. So you heard that. The runner would like to save the prisoner. So if you would like to go against the runner's wishes, maybe just a little bit, add a little bit more horror to this Tuesday, you can put your donation towards that Save the Frames incentive. Now, all of your donations for this event are going towards, in support of, the National Women's Law Center, a group of advocates, experts, and lawyers who fight for gender justice, taking on issues that are central to the lives of women and girls. They believe in a world which all women and girls can live, learn, and work with equality, dignity, safety, and bodily autonomy. For more than 50 years, they have been on the leading edge of every major legal and policy victory for women. You can learn more about the important work they do by typing !NWLC in the chat. I saw this. Okay, chat. I saw this donation come in early this morning, and I think I'm probably not going to do it justice, but I think it's an important message, and I'm going to do my best. I just want you to hear it real quick. We had a $10 donation from Enia Moore, which read, Vive Frost Fatales. Vive Fast and Fabs, le speedrun fait super. I think this was going along with all of the fuzz lately, and we appreciate that donation, and I just want to make sure it got read because I saw it and I loved it. Which is a great time to mention that Frost Fatales 2025 is rebroadcasted in French, Japanese, and Spanish by our Restream partners, Fast and Fabulous, Japanese Restream, and Speedruns Espanol. Type !Restream in the chat to find their stream links. Thank you for helping us share Frost Fatales with a wider audience. If you are an organizer for an alternate language broadcast and want to assist with restreaming Frame Fatales events, please feel free to reach out to the FF team by emailing framefatales@gamesdonequick.com. And while we wait here patiently to return to our runner, we would like to give you a quick message from our charity sponsor, the National Women's Law Center.
At the National Women's Law Center, our work reflects not just what we care about, but who we are. We are survivors. We are people who have had abortions, people who use birth control.
This is not a question. Abortion is healthcare.
We fight for reproductive freedom and for the right to live, learn, and work free from harassment and violence.
It is my deep honor to announce here tonight the launch of the Abortion Access Legal Defense Fund.
We fight against extremist efforts to dismantle the rights of those most vulnerable to oppression.
We have been working around a bill that would align Title IX's protections.
Because we belong to these communities. We are immigrants and women of color in a world where our communities work hard every day without equal pay.
It's beyond time our lawmakers take action to pass the Paycheck Fairness Act.
We are trans people and people with disabilities whose very existence is threatened by the law. We are queer people who deserve to live with joy, freedom, and dignity.
Queer people deserve equitable access to reproductive health care. We're suing one of the largest health insurance companies in the country over it.
We champion gender justice across the multitude of issues that impact the lives of women and girls.
This is really the moment to make a change in our policies and have the priority be investing in children, in families, and in workers.
We do not live single-issue lives as one or as a whole. We span generations and gender identities, race and religion. At the National Women's Law Center, our work is deeply personal. We're fighting for ourselves, and we're fighting for you. We're fighting for justice for all.
Frame Fatales 2025 is so proud to support the National Women's Law Center. And I've said it before, you've heard me say it before, chat. I am so proud to be with you all here in support. If you want to support the cause and our charity partner, you can find the link to donate by typing !donate in the chat or by going to gamesdonequick.com/donate. You can use your donation to go towards added bonus content and influence runners' choices. And your donations also puts you in to win some of those fabulous prizes that we got to see earlier. Oh my goodness. I mean, from our previous run, there is that incredible goo ball amigurumi. That is a $5 minimum incentive. There's also a PlayStation 5 chat. If you donate $50 towards the National Women's Law Center, you put your name in the proverbial hat. Maybe one of those hats that we saw Charbunny wearing during her run last night. Perhaps it goes in there. Maybe someone will have to fact check me on that. But you could win a PlayStation 5 chat. That is pretty awesome. I'm personally a huge crafter myself. So seeing things like the Bunny Kirby amigurumi, the PS controller, which that cross stitch and the Faith amigurumi, they're all so incredible. If you donate $10, your name is in the hat for all of those potential prizes, which is very, very cool. Ooh, chat. I see you, Freds. I see what you're doing there. That incentive for the bonus challenge levels for Crano Origins, 72% of the way there. That's looking pretty exciting. I believe in you. So that's less than $300 away for that incentive again. When we meet that, because I believe in you strongly, 3Pup will play through an additional 6 levels of incredible, difficult, challenging content after the final boss. I'm challenging you. I want all of you out there. I believe that we can make this incentive before the run even starts. Let's go, chat. Okay, chat, we do have a few more moments here, so please take this break to top off your favorite hot or cold drink of choice. Settle in comfortably, because this marathon is set to speed run and you won't want to miss a single frame. I'm going to be talking about this from the rooftops all week, chat, so buckle in, okay? Your generous contributions, this $46,437 that we have raised so far is going directly to benefit a remarkable organization, the National Women's Law Center. And I'm going to take this opportunity while we have it to provide you with even more insights about their vital work. The National Women's Law Center influences policies across a wide range of issues. Some areas they're focusing on today include LGBTQ plus equality. Despite hard-fought gains in legal protections for LGBTQ plus people, there's still a long way to go to ensure that they're treated equally in all contexts under the law. They continue to fight to ensure everyone, regardless of sexual orientation, feel safe and accepted with equal legal protections and rights. Another issue they're focusing on is Title IX. The National Women's Law Center believes that all students should get the help they need to succeed in school and prepare for college and careers. But right now, too many girls confront challenges that undermine their success in school. You can find out more about all of their ongoing work by typing NWLC in the chat. You can also join the National Women's Law Center in talking about how gender, power, and the law impact pop culture in NWLC's podcast, Hearsay. 3 multi-generational hosts bring in experts and friends of the Law Center to discuss the impact of pop culture events on the gender justice movement. Topics range from abortion narratives, equal pay in women's sports, and the perception of women pop stars throughout history. Type !hearsay in the chat or go to nwlc.org/hearsay to listen or subscribe. Okay, so I want to go back. I'm going back around to these bid wars, chat. We have for the Amnesia Bunker, which is the first run in the quote horror block, which I am terrified and also very excited for. We have, I'm going to go take another step back a little bit more and explain every percent, right? So Astrid, the horror girl, is running every percent. That means Astrid is running every percent of the Amnesia Bunker speedrun. So we are going to be seeing the 80%, which is the first category, of course. So that is out of bounds, wild, and full of glitches. We then are going to be seeing inbounds, which is also wild and full of glitches, but inbounds. Then there is the 80% no major glitches, some minor glitches category, followed by the glitchless category. So the every percent run is 4 speed runs of the same game back to back to back in 4 beautiful, wild, wonderful ways. So back to this bid war incentive here. We have the save the prisoner or save the frames. In 2 of those runs, so in the later runs, that is the no major glitches category and the glitchless category, there is a prisoner that is strapped down to a chair and they're basically imploring us to save their lives. So if you would like to be kind and save the prisoner, but lose the frames and make the speed run longer, you can put your donations towards the Save the Prisoner incentive. Or if you want to save the frames and, close your eyes and pretend there are no monsters, and we're just going to put our heads down like I do when I'm playing horror games and just run really, really fast to the exit, then you want to put your donation towards the Save the Frames for that Save the Prisoner or Save the Frames incentive. I'm very much looking forward to that run. Astrid basically gave me the most amazing rundown of that game. And, as a person who plays no horror games, I am considering it now because Astrid was so lovely when showing me that run. Okay, folks, it looks like we are back. I'm going to send you back to Allison8bit for the end of that Voidwrought 80% run. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Sorry so much about that interruption. Internet does that sometimes, unfortunately. We're going to just jump back in and finish this off. We did just defeat that boss, but we still have time to go to the final boss. I'm going to start counting us down from the saving quote we would have had. So we're going to start time again in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so once we finish that boss, that was the Key of Mind. And now that that's taken care of, we just got to make our way back down to the next boss area, which is not too far away. Just got to jump down to one more void gate, which is at the bottom of this room. But yeah, if there's any last words from Tazo, you got the floor for another minute or so.
I do have words still, surprisingly. I'm just joking. I want to shout out. I've been challenging chat for that bonus challenge levels incentive for Crano Origins, which is the 6 very, very difficult extra runs at the end of the final boss of that game, which is the next run, chat. And we have less than 300 to go. And I want to see you make it by the end of this run. Allison, how much time do we have here, do you think?
I don't know, 3 minutes, maybe?
That's easy, chat. You can do this. That is less than $100 per minute. One donation away. We can make it happen. I want to see you do it. Let's go.
Let's go, chat.
All right. Well, now we are on the way down to the final boss. This is all that's left. We got to use these 3 keys, and we're going to be making our way to the final boss.
The final boss was underneath the shrine the whole time.
Who would have guessed that this area would have been important for so many reasons? But this is all the things we need. We need just the 6 devotees and the 3 different keys. And here's a cinematic. You don't get to see a lot of these in this game, so it's quite a good one, though. Eyes? Any GDQ eyes in chat?
Eyes?
All right. And
let's see the eyes, chat. Bring them out.
This fight is going to be pretty fast. We're just going to grapple and dash, and we're just going to keep chaining these together. Half damage tank there, because we actually don't have the ability to dodge that. Time will be when the boss dies. We have to pick up, like, absorb the boss or something. So it's coming up pretty soon, though. They try to trap us in here, but it actually just helps us out.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
All right, and time.
GG.
Thank you so
job.
much.
I really like this game a lot. Oh, don't be sorry. Like, we're here for it. We're here for you. And this game, this run, it's just so enjoyable to watch. You're lovely. The music was lovely. The game's lovely. Like, I'm so happy right now.
And that's a 47:28. Like, not a bad time. Definitely on the better end.
Considered.
But yeah, that was it for me. I'm allison8bit. You can find me over on Twitch, where I have not streamed in a long time, but I'm trying to get back into it, I promise. Also on Blue Sky. And Birch, any shout outs from you?
I'm ProfessorBurtch. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at ProfessorBurtch. And I'll be back later this week for more commentary on the Beastie Ball run. So be sure to tune into that.
But yeah, this is a fantastic game. Thank you so much for watching. Check it out yourself if you are a fan of Metroidvanias, if you want a new speed game. It's fantastic. And Tazlo, thank you for being a fantastic host this whole time.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
But with that, I'll send it back to you at the studio. Thank you.
Amazing.
Bye.